I hate dating apps as a plus size woman because they've only revealed like men's evil, like true intentions to me. And I honestly feel like a piece of meat. And look, I actually made two like Tinder accounts with different pictures, but all my same information. The skinny girl was getting offered on dates. Guys were offering to like send her money, random shit. And me, it's like sexual questions, like right off the bat, like no respect. And don't get me wrong, I have been on dates and I have like engaged with people that were like decent from dating apps, but the reception of being like plus size versus straight, like straight size, is completely different. Like, let me know if you guys agree down below. That's actually why I'm on a fitness journey, because I know to get better options, I have to be better option. And I don't hate myself. Like, I love my body, but I just don't like the way that people treat me because of my body and the way that my body has positioned me in society, if you guys know what I mean.
Today we're going to talk about plus size dating. And I've seen a lot of girls say that they're going to lose the pounds because they want better options. And some say that they see how evil and cruel men are and it's making them want to change. And to be honest, it's really bad on each side. One girl said when she put up one profile as a skinny version of herself that she was offered money, nice dates, romance, and guys were pretty much talking to her nice. And when she posted her regular profile of herself, it was the opposite. Guys were rude, they were being extremely vulgar, and it gave her a really bad taste in her mouth. And she perceives them as very evil. She said, the men on these apps are evil. Which brings me to this question. Why would you like to shed the pounds for a bunch of evil men? You know? And the thing is that I understand that skinny, your weight is currency. And that because you're bigger, you feel like most guys overlook you. They treat you like you're just about anything, and they think you're desperate. So that means that you would hook up with them at any chance because there's just no way guys are talking to you. And what troubles me about this is that as a skinny girly, I have been overweight before, but I carry it mostly in my stomach. I did see how men treated me versus when I was thicker. When I was bigger, guys treated me like I was just a good time. But at the same time, when I was skinny or when I am skinny, they do the same thing. And it's a mix of two things. Most men on the app are just looking for hookups. And also, if they don't really find you attractive and they feel like you're you're pretty much the only thing they can get, that's what they think, then they'll still go for you. And I see a lot of girls that lose the weight and they're still very pretty, whether they're big or not. They're very pretty, and their chances of finding someone is more probable. But there are some women that don't do, the work, the makeup, all that stuff, the hair, and they think that just losing the pounds is what's going to get them a mate. And I also noticed that because big girls develop more of a personality, that they really display it on the dating apps, and guys don't really care. They gloss over it and they're just like, whatever, nice, but what can you do in bed? Can you keep me warm in the winter? Are you down to hook up tonight? And that happens to skinny girls too. Yes, we have more options, but the options we have aren't necessarily great. That's why it kind of makes me sad that you have to change the way you look so you can at least, out of the hundreds of guys that are trying to hit on you, 5 of them are decent. Whereas If you're bigger, maybe you don't get that many guys hitting on you, and most of them are creeps. So I get it in that respect. But I think it's hard for both of us.
Options are limited, or that the ways in which you get approached are limited, or that like the things that are available to you more readily are limited. And I've been in a relationship for 4 years, but I still experience a lot of this because you can just feel that like you are not seen as valuable in the dating space.
And it's a shame that when you're a big girl, you can do pretty much anything. You could do gymnastics, you could go hiking, you can do many activities, but for some reason they exclude you out of dating. And the reason is because biologically, people perceive someone that's skinny as healthy. And when I've been extremely skinny, I wasn't my healthiest. I was on the verge of diabetes, a thyroid problem. I was not doing well. But again, people perceive you as more healthy. Like these things could be reversed. Where weight also can be reversed. You can work out, eat right, and get to your ideal goal.
A lot of women have a power in having higher stock, I guess, that they can use to, get things for free or get men to do things for them. Like, I am aware of that even as somebody who is in a relationship. I am not looking for love.
And the truth of the matter is, what's happening is, besides the fact that people are watching these social media interviews, like those people are watching those interviews of guys asking women what their weight is or if they're single, and they watch the Kevin Samuels of the world or the Fresh and Fits of the world, and the women that are bigger seem to have the hardest time dating. And they also are realizing that no matter how many likes and how many you go girl, you look good girl, you look fly on their pictures that they post, none of the guys that they like the picture or comment or ask them out on a date. And I think that they're opening their eyes to that they're seeing that the validation that they're getting from women, it does not equate as the validation they get from men. It does not equate. It doesn't matter how many yes queens they get, because when they go up to the guy they like, he doesn't care. He doesn't respond. He's not interested. So I understand why so many girls are trying to lose the pounds. And even I, who usually I range in between, now in my 30s, in between 135 and 140, I wasn't really healthy. I had high cholesterol and I couldn't get rid of the fat in my stomach. So I got on, I think it's Mounjaro, something like that. It's like Ozempic, but it targets not just the fat, but the hormones. And I could see an immediate change in my confidence, how people talk to me, because I'm skinnier. But it still makes me feel a little disheartened, because when I'm bigger, people just assume that I lack control or I'm the funny girl. And if I'm Mrs. Serious, they're asking me what's wrong with me. But when I am, let me take this off. But when I am, chill and just vibing and quiet, nobody really asks me a thing. They just assume I'm this cute, shy girl. So I get that completely.
There's conversations where people talk about how dating somebody who looks like you or going on a date with someone who looks like you is their worst fear, and they find it personally insulting. And that's just a lot for the ego to take, no matter how much other privilege you have or how many aspects of it you do still have access to. There is such an ego wound in me from years of this, that being in a relationship, no matter how happy and successful.
Another thing I've realized is that people will assume if you're a big girl and you're in a relationship that the guy doesn't value himself for being with you, which is awful, because that even creates more of a phobia or a stigma on men to date bigger women, on men who want to date bigger women. And so they don't. And they start dating women that they're not really truly attracted to, but because they want to, follow social standards, they do. And it sucks that then these men get told behind closed doors, oh, you're with her? Why would you be with her? You could do much better. And it's one thing if you're like a thick girl, but when you're, let's say, very obese, I can see why some men and some women are kind of triggered. Like, what are you doing with this person? She doesn't fit your lifestyle. But at the same time, that's his choice. That's who he wants to be with. But I do also know that some men take advantage of the fact that when a woman's bigger, even like, for example, me, when I've been bigger, my self-esteem is a little bit lower. And guys would try to take advantage of that, say things to me to hurt my self-esteem, my ego, trying to humble me. And so I would maybe give in to a date or two. But after the second date, even the first date, I'm like, no, I see that he doesn't value me. And if we were to be together and I got skinny, and let's say we decided to have children, and I gained a pound or 2 or 20, he would leave me, cheat on me, and treat me like trash. I mean, they already do that with girls that are skinny and pregnant. But imagine them already beating you up emotionally, and then you get in a relationship with them because you have no boundaries or self-respect, and then you end up having a family with this person who didn't respect you in the first place. Also notice, like, let's say you went from 180 to 140 and you don't see a change in the way men react to you. It's because they want you to be a size 0. Like, you losing 40 pounds, that doesn't mean anything to them. If you don't look like that girl on his poster, if you don't look like his favorite superstar, if you can't fit in a size 4, 3, 2, 0, 0 double X, it doesn't really matter to them. There is some men that appreciate a thick woman, that they like it, but it seems as though it's far rare in between. And when they do, they constantly point it out like that's your only personality. And so I get it when girls are like, there's no winning this. Because I lost 40 pounds and it's still not good enough. But it's because you don't fit the superstar, supermodel body type. And I hope we get to a place where we can just accept people where they want to be, where they're going, as far as their body is concerned.
Thinness has become a status symbol amongst the wealthiest and most famous people. Because up until the 1900s, a woman having a little extra weight on their body was actually considered a sign of beauty and fertility. In ancient Egypt, senior officials were depicted with fat rolls, which was supposed to symbolize their success and access to food. And the ancient Egyptians actually valued bodies that were muscular, not necessarily skinny. We start to see a change with our relationship and food in Europe during the Middle Ages.
Like, I noticed that Nelly Furtado, she's been doing concerts and stuff, and she's gained a lot of weight. She's not the 22-year-old we met. She's not 120 pounds. She's a solid 150, and it looks good on her. But the amount of comments, negative comments I see on the posts of her concert is sad. This woman had 3 kids. One, I think maybe 15 years ago, and the other 2 were back to back. And somehow we can't appreciate and love the way she looks now. If it's not the scantily clad clothes, it's her weight, it's her butt, it's her chest, it's her waist. It's always something. She's up there performing, giving you her best years. And people don't even appreciate it. People look at her like, no, you need to go back in the gym before you get on stage. So am I supposed to stop my dreams and my career because it gained weight? Like the way people treat Georgia Smith, the way people talk about her weight, I can't stand it. She's still a very beautiful girl. But at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is beauty, thinness is currency. Right now, I have a friend and she's going through a weight loss journey. And I am trying to be as supportive as I can. And if you have a friend who is overweight and you want to support them through their journey, make sure to remind them that their health, taking care of themselves, is for them to live longer so they could enjoy more moments of life with you, with maybe their kids, with their future partner, with just to do things that they always wanted to do without worrying about, do I fit in this? I'm helping my friend go through this weight loss journey, and there are times that she's eating stuff that I mean, personally, I don't care, but she looks at me like, are you going to say something? And I don't. I'm just there to support her and help her be the best she wants to be. And if today she doesn't want to be the best she wants to be, or this is the best she can do, I'm all in. And I'm not judging her for it. And I look at her like she's beautiful inside and out. But I also want her to live a longer life because I enjoy her friendship. And she's an awesome girl. And I know that men take her for granted, take advantage of her because of her weight. And I can't allow it. And I want her to see that she can really align with her mind, body, and spirit and take care of herself fully, not just financially, not just emotionally, but physically. So she could also endure what may happen in the world. You never know what's going to happen in the world. What if we got to do some Hunger Games shit and start, building log cabins? And it requires a lot of it requires a lot of strength and a lot of stamina. And so I want her to be at that place where she can trust in her body. And yes, the body fails, but she can trust in her body that's going to get her through the day, through the week, through the month, through the year. So to my big girls, and listen, I grew up in a house where fat phobia was such a big thing. And I mean, I'm guilty of being like, oh my gosh, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like that. And in some ways that helped me to try to stay as fit as possible. But when I did get big, I didn't want people to treat me differently and treat me like shit, treat me like I wasn't an option to date, a suitable option. And so as I grew up and I realized that the heart is what's more important, someone's spirit, how this person treats you, I'll never do that again. So in closing, I wish my big girlies a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, a lot of abundance, lots of love, kind words. I love you. I care about you. You're still very much beautiful to me. You're worth it. You're worth taking care of yourself, not for a man, but for yourself, for your future kids, or for your future spouse, for your future grandkids, for your friends. And your health is your wealth. Without it, how are you going to get up and go to work? How are you going to do the things that you really love to do? Like maybe surfing or traveling all over the world without having to buy an extra seat, or being able to feel confident when you're bungee jumping, things like that. I want you to feel confident doing these things. And yeah, it might sound kind of sucky what I'm saying, but I really want that for you. But I don't want you to lose the pounds for a man. I want you to lose the pounds for your health, for yourself. And if someone comes along the way, you can live longer and enjoy the love experience with them. But it does break my heart that people don't see your value, especially men, because that is unfair and you don't deserve that. Thank you for watching. A little bit of a heavy video, but make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.